She said, listen here, little darling, I ain't selling you no fake. You see this vibe around my neck, well, it's all he'll have to
Welcome everyone back. It is Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., a little bit thereafter, and it's time for the Scott and Steve Show, the award-winning Scott and Steve Show. We want to put that out there. So we want to welcome everyone today. This is Scott. Steve is on his way up here. He'll be here in a minute. He's taking care of some important business. But we have trusty Jeremiah with us here today. Jeremiah, how you doing?
Not bad.
Not bad?
I don't know if that's completely important.
Well, I trust that whatever Steve's doing, if he's a few minutes late to hear, then you know it's definitely an important thing. We want to love that. We have a special guest with us here this morning as well, who we're going to talk to for the first 15, 20 minutes or so, as long as he has here. Want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, I'm Jonathan Johnson. I'm part of the Lakeland baseball team here. Played middle infield, a little bit outfield, just transferred over from Marietta. Looking forward to the season.
All right, so Johnny Johnson from, where are you originally from, Johnny?
Euclid, Ohio.
Okay, so he's from Euclid, chose to go to Marietta, far away, and then chose to come on back here. So without getting too detailed, I mean, why'd you choose to go away? Why'd you choose to come back to Lakeland?
Just coming out of high school, struggled a little bit in high school as a team, and then saw the opportunity I had with Marietta and 6 national championships and big tradition program, and just really wanted to win. And I was sucked into that kind of environment, and fortunately it didn't work out, and then had a place to come back home and see what I could do for a year.
Okay, all right. So with that, I mean, you've been practicing with the team now for a little bit. What's your thoughts?
I think we're gonna be competitive this year. I mean, we got a lot of good athletes on the team. Had a shortened fall, so we didn't really get to see what everybody had. But in the little bit of time we did have, we saw some guys really outperformed what we expected. And we had a lot of good transfers in. Some guys from Miami, guys from Tri-C that didn't work out over there for them, and we have a lot of raw talent on the team. We just gotta start maintaining that and see what we can do on the field together.
Are you going to start?
I'm hoping so. I mean, keeping my fingers crossed. I mean, we're really deep in the infield, so
Right.
I might see what I could do in the outfield. But where I can get on the field, I'm more than happy to play.
All right, so tell us, how do you swing the bat? Tell us about your skills, abilities here. Do you stick? Where do you hit in the lineup?
I'm more of like, I always came up as like a speed guy.
Okay.
1-2 hitter.
Okay.
Junior, senior year of high school, started to find myself in the middle of the lineup. Then I added a lot of weight, a lot of power. Just get in the
Good weight,
room.
of course.
Good weight, all muscle, all
Okay,
muscle
all right.
weight, about 20 pounds of muscle. So I mean, I've been hitting the ball hard the last couple of months. So I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna hit a couple of gaps, maybe put the ball over the fence a couple of times.
All right. That'd be outstanding. Now, coming up here, you guys are getting ready to go on a trip for spring break.
Yep.
You're going to be heading down to Florida. All right. You excited for that?
Oh yeah, we never got to go on a spring trip in high school, so this will be my first one personally, and we do it every year at Lakeland. Big tradition of ours, and we're looking forward to playing some good competition down in Central Florida.
Very good. Very good. What's your? Do you have any goals for the season, personal and team goals, or any thoughts on that, or how you think the team will finish up? What do you think?
For me personally, it's always a team goal, or I would think it would be a team goal for us to win a conference championship. Put 2018 on the banner, and see how far we can go in the NJCAA. I mean, always want to make a run and be the best team in the country, and then personally trying to just outperform what I did last year. Rack up a couple hits, impress some scouts, and try to find a four-year school to move on to.
Okay, and that was going to be my next question. The goal is after this year is to move on. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I want to get back to a four-year school.
Okay. What do you want to study, or what are you studying? What do you want to go into?
I'm more of a business major, studied finance, business administration, so somewhere along those lines. Not really sure on the career path I want to take yet, but I know it. I know once I want to be involved with like in the business field.
Okay, well, obviously in the business field, a lot of colleges have business, so that certainly opens up the door to some opportunities here. Realistically, what division you thinking? What's realistic?
I think I'm coming from a D3 school, really good D3 school. We usually scrimmage a lot of Division I schools in the fall, and I think I could play at a solid D2. Hopefully, try to fit in a smaller D1 somewhere up north. It's not
Kent?
competitive. Kent has
Set up north.
really good program.
Compared to Florida, it is. Steve has just come in, for those who are wondering. Steve, welcome.
Sorry for my absence.
And I let the crowd know that you had some important things that you were doing, and Jeremiah questioned the importance of that. I'm like,
Well,
hey, if he's not
when,
here, it's
when
important.
Jeremiah enters the workforce someday in this decade, he'll understand.
All right.
No, just like Steve actually showing up on time.
All right, so Johnny Johnson is here with us, and how
you doing, Johnny?
How you doing?
He's looking at talking about transferring middle infielders, talking about transferring next year. Hopefully, small D1, D2 type situations. He's looking
You're
at.
wearing the wrong shirt, man.
Well, I know. For those who aren't seeing us
Fortunately, I
online,
gotta keep my language clean.
Yeah, Dr. Drapp is probably online applauding the shirt that he's wearing. But
Dr. Drapp.
but if he is, we let him know that you go to Lakeland, not to. Is that Oregon? Is that
what is that?
What does that stand for? Do we know?
The Ohio State University.
As opposed to the other one.
Ohio State. Which campus? Which branch campus?
Right.
All right, so that's great. So thinking about moving on. So is there any school? If you have a dream school?
I mean, growing up, my dream schools were always like LSU, Coastal Carolina, and then
Chanticleers.
oh yeah, and then went through high school and saw, I mean, how big time that actually is, and
Right.
I mean, you just have to have a God-given talent to be able to play at that level.
Did you grow up down there?
Euclid.
I'm
You're from up here?
Northeast guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you know about Coastal Carolina?
Just their success, especially winning
Yeah.
the national championship. D1 a couple of years
Right.
ago, and then
Beautiful campus.
oh yeah, it's
I've never been there.
Oh,
but
it's
I've heard
gorgeous.
it's
Right.
awesome.
Throw a rock at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
It's right there.
Yeah, and all those like big time SEC schools always had dreamed of going to just like the best college baseball like you could play, and then kind of realized talent. You could have a dream to play there, but talent takes you so far. And
Sure.
had to look at a little smaller schools, so like a Toledo maybe. Had a coach that played baseball at Toledo, Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio. Some of the they're big D1 schools, but not that big in baseball as compared to the other sports.
When do the scouts usually come out?
They're there, man.
All the time. I mean, are they there every game, or is there usually a certain point in the season?
No.
Where
I mean, it's to the point where honestly, for next fall, it's getting late.
I mean, do they have to
It's
let you
late.
know when they're coming out, or they just pop in?
Oh, they pop in.
Okay, so there's no regulation by the NCAA that says NJCAA.
they have periods of time that they can scout, recruit,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. However, I mean,
Hunting
they
season.
have other people looking for them. Obviously, a lot of times word of mouth is real popular. Obviously, but
Right.
but for going for next year, it's getting late
Okay.
from that perspective. Not over yet, but it's got to happen soon if it's going to happen.
Right,
So,
okay.
We wish
And
you luck with that.
second
for sure.
year.
Yep, sophomore.
Right
Transfer from Marietta.
Gotcha.
So he went away, came back, and stuff. So we'll see what happens. We want to wish
So
you
did
luck with
Marietta
that.
get the first part? Your first year of eligibility?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Use a year there.
Okay.
So what now? Here you're taking classes here. What's your favorite class you're taking here?
I'm taking a humanities class with Anthony Palmero. He loves to yell at us, but I mean, kind of
Outstanding.
kind of surprised me the first day, and then just is how he is. He's loud, but he gets everybody's attention. And
Is he loud or is he passionate? There is a difference.
There's a
Both.
difference.
There is a
there.
difference.
Okay, I can see that. He loves.
He
what
jumps in between both.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves what he teaches, but he really like gets on you. You look away for like 2 seconds, and he's screaming your name, asking you the next question. So, he really gets everybody's attention, and I guess that's why I'm more involved in that class.
Right.
All right. So humanities.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Now let's talk brass tacks here. Favorite baseball team? Professional.
Cleveland Indians.
Solid?
Yeah. All Cleveland.
All right.
sports
Well,
teams.
let's go there.
All right. Well, I guess we got to do that. How are they
What
going
do you think about the dilemma? The Wahoo.
I mean, I understand where people are coming from, so I'm not against them getting rid of it. I personally like the Chief Wahoo, but I mean, it's a controversial logo, and I could see how some people take it, and I understand the change. So I'm
Okay.
not completely
Okay. Well,
against it.
wait. Let's go a little further.
You kind of played Switzerland there, but
Yeah. Let's go a little further now because
Brass tacks.
you're a business major, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is are they right or wrong in eliminating Chief Wahoo? Do you support it or not support it?
From a business standpoint,
No, I'm asking you, and I'm going to get to business in a minute. My question is what do you? Is it right or is it wrong? Do you support it or not? Don't be on the fence here. We're not.
This isn't that kind of show.
Right.
I support the change.
Support
Okay.
the change.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now what would you say if you say, okay, the business says we're going to make that change, but from a business perspective, we're still going to sell it locally because we don't want anybody else to make that money because that's what it's about is making money, and they're going to say, well, we're going to get rid of it publicly, kind of. But
we're not going to
keep
wear it. We're not going to have Chief Wahoo on our MLB approved uniforms.
but we're still going to sell
But
it
we're still-
locally
right,
because
we're
we want the money, and we don't want anybody else. If we just said no, we're getting rid of it because we believe it's the wrong thing to
because
do,
after a while, the copyright goes away.
right? And so then
So
someone else will pick it
in
up.
order to protect the brand,
Right.
they have to continually use it so many times,
So, yeah.
or without any deviation, I guess, for a certain amount of time.
Correct.
So they're still going to be using it locally.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, for me, it's either you gotta go all the way, or like you can't do it at all, which shows that
Right.
they still want to make their money, but they're not really. Maybe
I
they don't
think-
understand where people are coming from, why
Right.
they're getting offended by it.
Right.
I think in addition to that, though, it was and people knew it was coming to get the All-Star bid.
Oh, yeah.
They knew it was coming, and
Yeah.
it was total appeasement for
Absolutely.
the commissioner of the MLB itself,
Right.
to get the All-Star game.
Right.
Now we've had it here before, back when it was when the Jake was new or Progressive
right,
Field, whatever
right.
they call it nowadays.
Right.
But is it really needed?
Well, 2019.
I mean, I know they're
will
exciting
be the
team.
All-Star game.
Right? I know they're an exciting team.
So
the
in
World
2020 or 21, Chief Wahoo will be
Series. We're
back.
Right. And I've already. There was a kid who came down to the police department the other day at the window, and I saw him. He was filling something out. I said, "Hey, where'd you get that hoodie you're wearing?" Because it was that new. it's not the official logo, but it's one of those conceptualizations that are going around, and
Right.
it's the one I thought, hey, pretty, little tip of the hat to the history, I guess. It's the single feather that incorporates the sea.
Oh, yeah,
I thought,
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a really cool logo,
Right.
But
But isn't that offensive too? That
It-
alludes to it.
I know.
I
but
mean, where does that
but
line get
that's,
drawn?
That's the problem,
Right.
Is like I said, are we going down the road where maybe in 70 years all athletic teams are just known by the first letter of the city or the school that they represent?
Right. Right.
The O's. Who are we playing? We're playing Ohio State, and that's
No,
it. Just
yeah.
vanilla.
Right.
You
right.
know.
Well, that might be the path. I hope not, but that certainly could be the path. But yeah. So, Tribe, they're going to be any good this year?
Oh yeah, they're gonna compete. They're
Compete with what? Let's be clear now.
When you go out on the field, you are competing.
They're gonna make the playoffs. Probably most likely. Win
Whoa,
the
wait a
division.
minute.
They
Now
will make the
let's
playoffs.
be honest.
They're going to take out the Red Sox.
The
Get it
Central
right.
is horrible.
I'm going to go out
The
there.
Central is horrible. Come on, if they don't win the division by 10 games, there's a problem.
I didn't even
In
peg
the
them winning,
playoffs.
going to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it to the first round, but
Yeah,
dunk.
right. So they'll make the playoffs because there's nobody else in the Central.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest here. I mean,
they know they're not going to compete with the Indians, so they might as well rebuild right now. While the Indians,
Who?
like
Everybody else?
the Royals unloaded a lot in over the winter.
you think it's because they're concerned about competing with the Indians?
I mean, not primarily the Indians, but they see what's going on with the Yankees and the Astros.
Yeah, they want to go to
Yeah,
ALCS.
Yankees, Astros, and Red Sox. Now
Not
they're
so much
like
the Red Sox,
Oh,
but-
okay, all right. So how do you say that? What's going on in the world? They just signed JD Martinez, pitching staff's there. So how are the Indians going to score this year?
A lot of small ball. I mean, we're not gonna out hit the Yankees or anything. Especially
Who are you going to out hit?
I mean,
The Red Sox.
Yeah, right. Minnesota, maybe.
no. I think Kipnis had a down year last year. We could expect more out of him this year.
So is he going to be an outfielder? Please, come on. He can't play outfield. He can barely play second base.
Can I be honest?
Trade him.
I wanted to trade.
Who cares?
He's average.
At best.
He's average.
At best.
He's not. Yeah, I mean,
Coming up, he wasn't a second baseman. He came up as an outfielder. Got moved in the infield.
Yeah, but you watched him play the outfield, right?
Yeah, and he's not any better. He just doesn't seem.
he's a Mack
he doesn't
truck.
seem
He
quick.
can't move in the
Yeah,
outfield.
yeah, it's they can't dump him
That's
fast enough, and now they're putting Ramirez at third, right? So who's going to hit anything for him?
We got
Bradley's still out.
Encarnacion.
Who's I'm going to walk or pitch around? Go ahead.
We got Lindor, who I think is gonna be even.
He had a
better
career
this
year last year,
He had a
but-
career year last year. I think
Yep.
he's only gonna get better. He's getting bigger, faster, stronger. It's only his.
You know, that's funny you said that. I don't want to interrupt you for a minute, but he did. They were talking about how he put in all this weight and stuff like that. Stronger.
It's good weight though.
Well, but the funny thing about that is in baseball, historically, if you watch the athletes over the years, when they have a big winter off season of putting on a lot of muscle,
Right.
they tend to have a really poor year. They really do. They
gotta get used to the new skin.
They're slower. They don't have quite the flexibility, the range, and
Yeah, but we're
and they
talking
struggle.
Lindor. It's not like it was Jim Thome putting on weight.
No, but
you know.
don't wait. But I'm just saying when they put on muscle, that tends to be the thing. They tend to have
Right.
more injuries as well,
Sure.
which I find interesting
Well,
from that standpoint.
See how good the Indian strength and conditioning will be.
Yeah,
then.
so I'm really curious. Now, I like he's a great player. I hope he does well, but I am interested to see how that plays out
Yeah.
this year. So I see two hitters. I see Lindor and I see Encarnacion.
we got Ramirez, he's gonna hit. He's just gradually been improving every year, and then broke out last year. I think Yandy Diaz, if he can get in the lineup a little bit this year, he'll hit.
You just answered your question. If he can get in the lineup,
I mean, that's just, what we do with Kipnis, because I think we're loyal to Kipnis. If Kipnis is playing second, Ramirez is going to be at third. There's really nowhere Yandy could fit in.
so it's one or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
What are you doing for a catcher?
okay. we had a little hole there because Gomes.
Who's playing left field?
We got
Who's playing right field?
Lonnie Chisenhall out and right.
He's a quality, high level hitter.
He's average. You could expect. You know what you're going to expect from him.
He's a money ball player.
You're not going to. He's
He's
not going
just
to hit.
average. Play to the averages.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, Johnny. I'm not trying to bust on him. I actually do root for the Indians when it doesn't negatively impact my Red Sox.
Right.
But yeah, they're. I think
This
they're-
year it's just going to negatively, affect this Red Sox. So
Well, I don't think so. I think they're going to struggle to score, though, the Indians. I think they're going to struggle to score this year. And here's my prediction. The Red Sox picked up Martinez here. They have got a trade coming because they got a logjam now. They're going to get rid of Bradley Jr. and Hanley Ramirez to the Indians, and you're going to give us someone the equivalent of Carrasco and Salazar. That's my prediction.
I can see
Doubt it.
Salazar. I don't know about Carrasco.
Well, you can't get those two guys for Salazar. He's
No.
injured good. He's not that great. He's a
Exactly.
bullpen
We
pitcher.
could get rid of. We would. I don't think we'd dump Carrasco.
Well, you need offense.
You need offense
and you
more
need
than
an
pitching.
outfielder. So I mean, there's two of your holes right there.
We don't really. I mean, Bradley. I would love having Bradley in Cleveland, but I mean, we don't really need two more outfielders. We don't need.
Well,
I don't.
Hanley Ramirez isn't an outfielder. He's a DH first baseman. He's played
He
short in his
plays- he
past, so he
plays
could play
left.
third
And Santana's
He's not an
Who
outfielder.
they placing him at first?
for the Indians.
Yeah.
And Carcion.
And Yonder Alonso.
Yeah. So I mean, and Hanley Ramirez is also a very good first baseman. You can switch him and Carcion DH first base.
Yeah, I like Encarnacion more as a DH, and that's why we picked up Alonso with Santana leaving.
Right. Again, a great offensive move there.
Yeah, I mean, Santana's up and down. I don't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we don't
and
want to
like,
beat a
and
dead
like
horse
everybody
here.
else, like you said, in talking with Kipnis,
Kipnis, yeah.
or even Chisenhall or
Yep.
Gomes. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about being loyal.
No question
and,
about
and
it.
I love, and if you can remove the fan out of
Right.
it, and being a player, remove the fan away from it. It's for the betterment of the team. Loyalty is good. I mean, it's good, right? But
Right.
but it's to advance the team, advance the franchise.
Correct.
So and you see that with the Browns fans.
Yep. Yep.
Wanting their guy. And I already hear it. They want. And I don't want to jump to football right now, but I'm already hearing people going, Barkley. No, take the number one pick, Barkley. Yeah,
Right.
Because we've done that. I shouldn't even say we. I'm not even associated with being a Browns fan anymore. But
But you were at one point in time.
oh yeah.
So you
I'll
can't
be more than
technically
older.
deny it.
Listen, I'll be more than happy to talk about it. I'm just the smart one who wised up.
I don't know about
But
that.
Barkley is not the right answer. Doing the same thing they always do. That's right. Go after the rookie. You'll get far.
Well, the other aspect of that, quite honestly, is he's a running back. A running back's shelf life is 3 to 4 years
Right.
max anyway.
Right.
Do you spend the number one pick on someone in 3 or 4 years?
I don't get it.
That, quite honestly, that you could probably pick up a running back who's had quality in the second, third round.
They almost, for Moneyball, they almost need to do that.
Right.
They need to rebuild the brand. Nobody wants to come here for football.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
Especially a number one. Maybe top 20 don't want to come here.
Right. Right.
So until you change the brand, the image, and maybe get at 500, just hit 500.
5 wins next year's prediction here.
No, it ain't gonna happen, man.
Take
It ain't
5.
gonna happen. Anybody will take 5. Anybody will take 5, especially over 0.
And let's
five is
Regular
not,
season, regular
specify.
season, regular
Yeah,
season. 5 wins next year.
is not gonna happen.
I know.
It is not gonna happen.
I'm optimistic. Optimistic.
Because and part of it, people are dogging McCarron and he's nothing but a backup quarterback.
Better
Well,
what we
yeah.
got. Better what we got.
But I mean, that's what happens when you're behind, a Dalton or a Brett Favre or a Tom Brady. Unfortunately,
Right.
yeah, you are the backup quarterback.
Right.
But along with that comes some tutelage and learning, and
Right.
come on, people.
Yeah. Don't worry, Drap's in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
Inspector
toughen
Drap,
up
anything to say?
America, wrong. Yeah.
Anyway, Drap, you got to be more timely with the chat here.
I
Either
tell
that-
you.
Well, you guys were on an ongoing
On a roll.
conversation.
Okay, well, you
so,
got to
yeah.
let us know, GM.
Yeah,
You
come
gotta
on,
let us
man.
know
You're
when,
you gotta
when the
roll.
fan base is piping in over here, man.
You can't tell me how to live my life.
Jesus. All right. Hey, because I know you got a class soon, right?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
Is it the Mr. Palumbo class?
Meteorology.
Oh, good. How is
That'll
that?
be interesting.
I'm not a science guy. I'll put it like
Okay,
that.
I had a buddy who went to school BG, and he said, after the 4 years at BG, and I don't even remember what his major was. He said the only class he actually learned something was meteorology class.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just everyday useful.
Right,
reading
right,
the sky,
right.
clouds, whatever. I mean, it's not like he became a meteorologist out of it, but just in a
you have an idea. You can walk
Right.
out and say, "Hey, feels like rain."
right? A little chilly.
I do got one question for you. Now, obviously, Major League Baseball. So the baseball guy came out with a lot of a rule change this week. We're going with 6 visits allowed in the 9-inning game. And the players are really all concerned about that, limiting them to 6 visits, how that's going to impact the game.
What do you mean 6 visits?
To the pitcher throughout the
Oh,
game.
you mean the manager to the pitcher?
Manager,
Coaching,
as long
any
as
coaching staff.
coach,
Even player?
a catcher,
Even player? Oh, really?
anybody. Yeah,
That's
limit it
good.
down to speed the game up.
Yeah, you know,
Now, they
I
didn't-
agree with that.
Yeah, they didn't go with the clock.
Right.
They were talking about that. They could have implemented the clock. Players weren't happy about it. They say it's going to impact the safety of the game
No.
because of if the catcher and pitcher aren't on the same lines, that they will.
Nope.
It could be a problem there.
They waste time and they know they do it on purpose.
Well, that's it. So you're still playing. I used to play. You're still playing. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't like those rule changes. I feel like if you don't like baseball to begin with, just because it's 20 minutes shorter, you're not going to like it anymore. I mean, if you think it's boring because it's too long, or you don't want to watch it because the game takes too long, cutting the game down by a couple of visits isn't going to make that big of a difference.
I agree. Disagree.
And I mean, for the coach going out there, I could see the kind of limiting that, but for a catcher to go out to his pitcher, because pitchers have they're mental midgets, or they're just like mentally weak. So it takes,
Hopefully, your pitching staff isn't listening right now.
Mental midgets.
I love all of our pitchers. I mean, it's
Besides our pitchers, they're meant to.
just naturally they like kind of get like rattled really quick or just frustrated. So it takes a good catcher to go out there and just calm them down, let them know everything is going to be okay. One hit's not going to kill you or lose the
But
game.
where does the professionalism kick in then?
I mean, it at all levels. When you're
Well,
competitive,
I put it this way: one of the biggest eye-opening things I ever read about baseball was years ago, and it's based on averages. Somebody had asked a Yahoo question, how long is the average baseball game in terms of when the ball's in play? Okay, do you know what?
Similar to football. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of
football
yeah.
is only like 15 minutes.
it's 12 minutes,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, my goodness, really?
Right.
But football moves it along though because they have a clock.
Clock. Right.
Okay, the delay of game penalizes them for going over it. Baseball, you don't have that. You don't have the pitcher getting in a stare down with the batter, or maybe reading signs, or Nomar Garcia Parra spending 25 minutes adjusting his batting gloves at the box. And it's as a fan, I do enjoy the sport, but it's like play.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's play. Just it's almost like where a basketball ref takes the ability for them to play the game out by
Right.
calling so many fouls. Baseball, they get in these. It's not a rut. It's
Right.
just a delay.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like play.
Right.
And I understand some of it's strategy.
Sure.
Calming. I get it. Calming the pitcher down. Maybe giving your guy in the bullpen a little bit more time to get his
Right.
reps in and stuff.
Right.
I get that, but there comes a point though where it's like, dude, we've been here 5 hours.
Right.
Dick
And-
stopped
and
selling
that is-
beer in the
and-
seventh inning, and we got 2 more
Right,
hours to go.
Right. And that is
You know?
that is part of it. Let's be honest. Is that baseball quote is still making a lot of money. However, they're making a money, and the viewership is with the older generation, people 40, 50 and above.
Right.
The younger guys your age are not watching
No.
baseball, which means it's okay now, but in 10 years, 15 years, when all those people die,
I think a lot of sports is going that
they're
way,
in
though.
trouble. I would agree.
A lot of sports
I
is
would
going
agree.
that way.
So how do you get ahead of that curve? The length is certainly one
Yeah.
thing to consider about, because right now many people are, hey, I got to have it, and but they cut down
Think
on
of-
commercials and stuff
No,
like
no,
that
no,
as
I'm
well.
not- I'm just saying face value. It's expensive.
Oh, it's crazy.
to go to
Look-
a game anymore. Yeah, I'd rather go to the Captains.
Yeah.
Quality game. You're in closer. It's more of an intimate
Right.
atmosphere.
Right.
Cost,
You can afford it.
cost effective.
Right. You can afford it.
But
But the other thing I would say is 6 visits. Now, that's not a change. 6 visits without a change. That's still 6 times going in a mound. That's
that's 12
lot.
potential times in a game.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, that's a lot of times to go to a mound. I mean, at some point, man, this is the major leagues. This is the big time.
Right.
If as a pitcher you can't get yourself together, maybe you don't belong there.
Right, and I mean, some guys just sneak their way up, and I mean, they're all amazing athletes. But,
No question. No
I
question.
mean, somebody like a Danny Salazar who gets in his head constantly, who has so much talent, but he just can't seem to get it together upstairs.
so maybe he's not good enough.
I mean, physically he is, mentally probably not. Yeah.
If you're a student, I'm a great student. I do all my homework great. I don't take tests well. Guess what? My grade's reflective. You either got it. It's
got
a
it or you
whole
don't.
package.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, as a prospective ball player, which I'm sure, given the opportunity, would you sign an MLB contract?
With all that money, of
Exactly.
course.
But here you are saying, "Hey, man, lead or get out of the way."
right.
Be that professional that
Right.
because I mean, let's put it this way: we all have our hopes and dream jobs, right?
Sure.
And if
Good thing I attained mine.
right, me too. But no, when you look at people like that, you hold them at that pinnacle,
Right.
and then when they start slipping, and then you say, man, I could do better than that.
Right.
You know, and that's how I feel right now. I mean, at almost 41 years old, I believe I can be a beneficial player on the Browns practice squad.
We all
okay,
could.
tackle me for 150 G's a year.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say though is if you're sitting here saying Salazar, you know, talent, physical ability, you know, pitching ability, but he might not have the mental
Right.
prowess.
Right.
See ya.
Well, that's how it works.
That's how a pro is, man. You got
That's
to be
exactly-
on your game. That's why you
Right.
get paid
To do
that
it.
money.
That's correct.
You know, so you being a young guy, I'd be like, dude, get out of the way. You're stagnating. You're stagnating in the
Me.
process for all of us trying to move up.
Right. Right.
You know.
Hey, I know you got to go to class, so we don't want you to be late, and don't use this as an excuse
That's
for
right.
being late. All right, but good luck this year. Have fun in Florida, but good luck throughout the season. Thank
Be
you for
safe in
stopping in
Florida.
today.
Thank you.
Finish out strong in your classes. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Have fun. Thanks
right.
for coming by.
Yep. Thanks for having
All
me.
right,
No
take
problem.
care.
Stop by anytime.
Oh yeah. Bye.
All right, so let's continue on here with that. We're going to we started getting take care, Johnny. We started to talk about football a little bit. Is there anything
Right.
more we want to add on to football at this point?
Nope.
The football is not happening. It's over, and outside of the draft coming up in God knows when months. So yeah,
April.
I think football's still going to be hurting next year. Tell you the truth, guys. I really
in
do.
what way?
Just the obviously viewership.
Right.
You know, with,
right. Are they going to finally take a
viewership and-
stand? Are they going to take a stand?
I don't think I think as long as Goodell is the commissioner, you will not get any stand, no matter what the topic is. You know, even with Tom Brady, you know, the Deflategate, or even
the greatest quarterback in the NFL.
But did you ever notice how Goodell was?
Yeah, he never made a stand.
Okay, he'll never make a
that's-
stand
that's
on
how it
anything.
is.
So as long as he's the commissioner, I don't think you'll see any kind of definitive stance from the league.
Right.
But I do think attendance and viewership is going to suffer again. You'll get the people that came back. You know, they might have voiced their protest in the one season, and,
Sure.
and they miss it. I miss it too, but I don't see it happening. I really think this is the year for XFL, and I think we talked about
Yep.
that already. And,
Yep.
and there's probably been no better time for a alternative football. Outdoor football.
Let me throw this out to you. I was thinking about this the other day as Notre Dame not very happy with the decision on the of the NC from the NCAA on some of the games they've had to lose. You talk to
they've had to lose.
well, they've had to, they give up based on
Oh,
sanctions
okay,
stuff.
yeah.
Louisville just
Right.
happened with them where they had to forfeit their 2013 championship in basketball.
Right.
And the president, mind you, an interim, has come right out and said that we wholeheartedly disagree with the NCAA.
I agree with that.
It's wrong, what have you.
I don't think a sanction should be handed down post.
5 years later.
Right. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
going forward. You're just not eligible.
Right. And I agree with that. So here's my question, though, is that we've had two presidents of major universities within the last 2 weeks essentially have said the NCAA is wrong. Okay?
All right.
We've kind of hit it around this or maybe briefly talked about in the past. Is this the time for some of those NCAA schools, the big boys, to say, you know what? We're going to do it our way.
Why don't they just get rid of the
We're gonna
NCAA?
break away. That's what I'm saying. We're going to break away, do it our own way. Because they have the voting power now to change it. Is this time for them? And what made me think of it was the football. If we said to them, you know what? Run your football programs how you want.
Right.
Pay your players $50,000. I don't care. You pay your players. Go from there. Breakaway. Have your own. You don't have to go to school. Break away and form your own league, if you will.
Yeah.
Would this be an opportune time?
No, it will never be a time because those schools have made the NCAA what they are, and now it's almost too big to fail. Because there are the smaller schools that got where they are because of the NCAA. You know, they built it the right way.
Right.
You know, and it's almost the NCAA is almost like the Fed. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why is people have this assumption
Right.
that the Fed is related to the federal government and it's private.
Right.
It's not related. The NCAA has nothing to do with colleges. Mm-hmm. It's a formed organization
Right. Run by the colleges.
run by the colleges
Right.
that oversees and spanks those colleges.
Right.
It's kind of an odd relationship.
Right.
But it's almost too big to fail.
Right.
You know, the NCAA is the NCAA, you know. And I don't think you would probably need the Big Ten, SEC, ACC, Pac. I mean, all the big conferences.
All big boys.
Be done.
Right.
You know, because I'll be honest with you, Big Ten leave. Let's just say the Big Ten leaves the NCAA. They don't care. That's not an impact.
Right.
It's really not.
Right.
You know, you would need some major movement to, number one, recognize, number two, to do it, and number three, have that solution of what do we do then?
Right.
Do all of our ADs just work together without the oversight of the NCAA?
Sure.
You know, I see where the NCAA was created for organizational purposes and oversight, but it's too big for this. It's too big now. I
Right.
mean, it's an entity that got way off course.
That's an interesting thought process there. I think you're right in some of those aspects in terms of, I mean, they built it, they run by themselves.
Right.
It's very difficult for that, for a breakaway like that. But I do know that it's just interesting to me to hear the leadership of these universities essentially say it's wrong. You know, but when I'm not saying it's right, you know, that they're right or wrong, but I mean it's interesting to hear that dissent right now. And,
Right.
and is there? I can't remember how many times I've actually heard a president come out and say they're wrong. We disagree with them.
Sure.
I mean, we don't like the ruling is one thing.
Right.
They're wrong. We disagree. And it's ridiculous.
Right.
Is something else. And, I've
Well, let me
heard
ask
that
a
twice
question:
now.
is it up to the NCAA to sanction?
Well, they have a sanctioning group. Yeah, they have a
I
committee.
get
so
that, but
yeah.
what is their role? I mean, is their role to manage eligibility, to manage roster, to make sure compliance is there? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
As far as sanctioning, you know, I mean,
I think that's the other aspect.
I have no
They check
problem.
it,
I have
they
no
check it
problem with
and then would sanction. Yeah.
But I have no problem with sanctioning. You're now sanctioned and no longer eligible for X amount of years in the future.
Right.
Come on.
I agree. That's part of it.
You know, you can't. How should I? I mean, I dwell in a world where you have some, you know, statutes of limitations
Right,
to operate
right.
within.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, but hey, back like you said, back in 2013, you know, we got to
Right.
have that championship back. In fact,
Right.
we're just going to leave it dashes and
Right,
hyphens
right.
rather than your name. Does that lessen the commitment that the team made or the sacrifices that the team made to win that?
Right. Right.
Do you know what I mean? If it didn't have a direct correlation to the winning of that championship, did it?
They're saying it did. Obviously,
How?
well, the player that was involved was, my understanding is, was receiving improper benefits or what have you.
Did he
and so-
shave?
That I can't say.
But you know what I mean? I mean, one player, or was it systemic?
That's a good question. I don't have
You
all
know,
that inside information on that. You know,
Football? No,
well, Louisville was basketball.
basketball.
okay.
Yeah, Notre Dame, I believe, was football, and it's just
I think one player on a basketball team. I'm sorry, a football team's gonna make that big. Maybe even a basketball player.
I don't know. I mean, you tell me. One
But
less
it
player.
might be some
Yeah.
other minor things besides that. We don't
Yeah.
know the whole thing.
And we never
Unless you
will.
want to go break inside, you know, the NCAA.
And we'll
to
never
find
know.
out.
We'll never know
He's
everything.
an odd character, this one.
But we'll never know everything for sure.
Well, no, but what I'm saying, it's just.
right.
Well, I don't got the
But
connections
shorter
now.
though of having a consequence such of that though, short of it, then what we're saying is, well, it happened. They got away with it. It's fine. And maybe that's okay.
So
I don't know.
let's ask a question. Where do we draw the line on rules then?
Well, that's my point. Is where
Do
does
we
that
enforce
happen?
them all, or do we just?
That's my point. So by enforcing them, though, saying okay, you have to go back and vacate, that is some sort of enforcement.
Right.
The issue I have with going forward is okay, this happened 5 years ago. Okay,
Right.
is it right to penalize
Future
a future
athletes
team for
for-
something
right.
who they were in seventh grade when this was going
Yeah.
on, and they had nobody. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's
I do.
it's
I do.
it's a hard one. It's a conundrum. How's that for a $3 word?
quagmire.
But what do you think? Is that good word, Jeremiah?
No.
Expanding our horizon.
What did he say?
Was it
Exactly.
conundrum or whatever?
Gotta look that one up quickly on.
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, good for you.
Excellent.
And how
Thanks.
was it?
It was excellent. I strive to improve my vocabulary on occasion.
So has anybody watched? I don't know if you have more on that.
No, please, no.
You watched any of the Olympics?
Yeah, Olympics.
Have you really?
Yeah, I watched some of them. I have. Got to tell you, some good things are happening, some bad things are happening.
Okay.
Lindsey Vonn, congratulations to her. First of all, she won her third Olympic medal last night. She took a bronze in the downhill skiing.
Slacking.
Oldest woman to ever win a medal at the Olympics. She's 33, and oldest woman to do that in downhill skiing. So,
okay.
And
Downhill
skiing.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
So
when you said Olympics, I'm like, oh, that's
downhill skiing.
staggeringly low.
Yeah. So, but congratulations to her. I mean, she's overcome broken leg, broken arm, broken this, broken that, in the last couple of years. So, that's great.
She'll be doing
Congratulations to her.
Ben Gay commercials in no time.
Yeah, replacement hips, knees,
Right.
elbows, the whole 9 yards. I did have the unfortunate opportunity to watch the end of the men's hockey last night against the Czech Republic. And men's hockey lost.
Right.
They lost in overtime, a shootout. I watched the shootout, and I was dismayed at the lack of creativity.
Was it pretty head on? Was it pretty head
It
on?
was like a couple of guys tried to weave back and forth, but then when they went to the backhand, you cut back across to the backhand. I mean, that's wide open.
Right.
Not able to shelf it.
Really?
Put it into the goalie's pad and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, twice that happened. And other times it's just straight at him shot, and it's like, but it's not like the Czech lit it up.
Right.
I mean, they scored one. It was 1-0 with 10 shooters, 9
Right.
shooters. So they had to shoot the last one. So it was. But I mean, we knew they weren't that good going in. But they're losing the quarters. Not quite what you would hope. You know.
I don't know if I'm getting old. My world's becoming more cynical.
Okay.
But and I haven't really watched any schools. School's kind of been occupying my brain.
Sure.
And
Ooh, wrong one.
This
Jeremiah,
guy,
the sound
he's
effects
got.
guy.
Not only can he not follow the screen of comments coming in in a
Right.
timely fashion, but
He
now our
can't
sound
even pick the right
effects.
sound effects.
Jeepers.
Well, you just hear old.
he's got his
and that.
how-to for dummies book next to him.
Is he a mental? Is he a pitcher?
He's a mental midget. Yeah.
Softball pitcher, maybe. Slow pitch softball.
He plays with his pitch back. But I saw on the news the other night that can you kill that?
Damn.
Apparently, there's an American Olympian
Okay.
who is an amateur, and I guess really did the skiing half pipe really good.
Talking about Shaun White.
No, this is a female.
Oh, female.
skier. The skiing half pipe, not the snowboarding.
Oh, okay.
And obviously did not make the U.S. team, but had found a loophole and is representing Hungary.
Oh, I heard about this. Yes. Go ahead,
and
please.
part of me says, you know what? Kudos to her for finding that loophole and making it work. Getting that puzzle piece to fit. I'm not exactly sure what the loophole was, but she was able to represent the country of Hungary. Where I actually have a problem with this is they're smacking on her. The news story was almost a smack that U.S. amateur finds loophole to go play for or to represent Hungary, and I'm like,
Right.
you know what, good for her. I mean,
Right.
is this what we've come to as the Olympics? That back in the day when it was all amateurs, and now that we're in this professional model, can't the average Joe get in anymore?
Right. Is this the one where they had one event where a person essentially went to you had to qualify by going to a bunch of events.
Right.
And if you finish, I guess, in the top 30 of each event, you get points for that.
Okay.
And so if this is the same story, the person went to a bunch of events where there was like 30 or less than 30 competitors.
Right.
So they always finished in
Within
top
the 30.
Within the 30 to
Right.
get the points. And then I guess a couple of times when there's big events going on that drew all the primary people, they went to the lesser events.
Sure.
So that way they have a better chance of scoring points and placing.
Right.
And so they qualified.
Is that the loophole that they were talking about?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's the same one, but that's my understanding of how that happened.
Right.
There was somebody like that, and they are. I heard on the radio this morning they are absolutely ripping this person for finding a way in and
Good for
stuff.
her.
It's like, hey, you know what?
But I
Everyone
guess-
else could have got in. I mean, come on.
Not just a loophole, but I understand it takes deep pockets, and you start when you're 2 years old and
Sure.
whatever discipline you're going in. I mean,
Right.
if you want to, it's time, dedication, a lot of years of
Right.
life that you miss because you're training and having that determination. But part of me, that's not the Olympics.
Right.
The Olympics was, the amateurs,
Right.
or if you even want to keep it professional, that's fine too. But it's almost like now this elite club,
Yeah.
this amateur, is in the Olympics. How dare she for finding a loophole?
Right.
Come on, all this talk of
Got in.
all this talk of not humanity, but the coming together and the celebrate of sport and country and the world and
You are cynical.
Oh, I don't know if I'm cynical or if just man the way things are, this but not that, and it's like come on.
All right, I do have one for you though.
Okay,
Your favorite sport in Olympics is what?
Winter Olympics.
Yeah. I thought it was curling. Is it?
I enjoy watching curling. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Okay.
I would have to balance it between luge and bobsled.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to curling because that's what the story's
Just-
on. I apologize.
Okay.
All right.
sorry.
So thank you. So curling, our favorite group, the Soviet Union.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They're operating the oars. They're
The oars.
Olympic athletes from Russia. Okay. They had a athlete curler test positive for PEDs.
Good for them.
A curler, and so I guess I'm not curling knowledgeable enough about curling. So I was
Right.
hoping you could shed light. Is now you have the person who pushes the disc,
the rock,
the rock stone. Okay, and you have the person pushing the snow with the broom.
Right.
Okay.
It's endurance.
Do you really need performance enhancing drugs to participate in that? I guess I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Why that would happen? And now they're talking as a result because if the oars had performed well throughout and justly, then they were going to allow them. They're going to consider allowing them to have their actual flag. As
Raised.
they left the Olympics.
Right.
Now with this, they may lose that opportunity.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why is Russia not there?
Well, that's exactly why they're not there.
Why did they let them then?
Well,
You see, you're
yeah.
part and parcel.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's. I was a
Fool
shock.
me once,
Right.
right? Come on.
Well, it'll be very interesting what our Olympic Committee does with this.
The
in the
Olympics
future.
are a sham, and I'll
Well,
give you
that
another
is true.
example.
That is true,
I'll give you another
unfortunately.
example because they're just like FIFA.
What's even PIFA?
FIFA.
Oh,
That'd be soccer.
I read an article, a very interesting article. The North Korean delegation of the Unified Korean team.
Okay.
As you could probably guess, they didn't do too swift in a Winter Olympic game. Many are afraid of being sent to prison camps.
Outstanding.
And this isn't a cynical. It just the fake facades that got put
Right,
up,
right.
whether it be the opening ceremonies, the Unified Koreans,
Right.
Which I thought on the surface was very good. Maybe that could be
inspires hope.
But when you hear stories like this, it's kind of like, well, shame on me for actually believing it.
Right,
When
right.
you have, I think they had 30 athletes.
Right.
I mean, their cheerleading section, the professional cheerleading section, that they got so much camera coverage was bigger than their actual delegation.
Right.
But you have human beings concerned for going to work camps,
As an
concentration
example,
camp, whatever.
Right.
I think work camps is the actual word. Because of their performance or lack thereof
Right.
at Olympic Games. Where's the outcry with that?
That's
Where's
good.
Where's the possible investigation before
Right.
there's an outcry?
Right.
Let's look into it. Where's the Olympic Committee there?
All right. That's a good point. That's a really
Can't the
good
Olympic
point.
Committee and the UN work together? I mean, I'm
The
not trying to politicize the games,
The
but
Olympic
unfortunately,
Committee has trouble working with the Olympic Committee.
no, I know, and I'm not trying to politicize the Olympics because
Right.
far removed it should be.
Right.
But unfortunately,
It
when
is
you
political,
have
though.
when you have countries of certain sets or types, whether dictatorship, whatever, democracies, republics, you do enter the politic
Right.
aspect of that country
Right.
or the people who are coming with it. So I think it's out. Anyway, it's 2018 and
Right.
we have people living in fear of their life because they didn't medal.
Right. Yeah. That.
Welcome to the club. That's why it is the Olympics. It's
Right.
supposed to be the best of the best.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that progresses if it indeed does happen. I mean, these people disappear. What goes on with
Right.
them? That'll be really interesting to see how that plays out from that.
5 years hard labor.
What I do want to say though is on a positive note though for the Olympics too.
I'm sorry for the doom. I'm sorry for the
we can do that at all.
Sorry for the doom and
There is
gloom.
one positive thing hopefully coming up is the U.S. women's hockey team does
Yeah.
play Canada tomorrow.
Oh,
Well, Canada's on a 25-game winning streak, so good for them. They beat the U.S. in the
It
prelims
ends.
2-1. That's my prediction. USA over Canada in the
It
finals.
takes the women about 4 to 5 minutes to get going. Did you ever notice? Did you notice that?
They're a little
they
slow,
come on a little
little
slow,
slow.
but man, when
They're a good
that
team,
5 or
man.
6 minute mark,
They're
man,
they're a good team. So I'm hoping that they come forward. But that's my prediction.
Cool.
Women's hockey, they're going to win USA over Canada. Jeremiah, you want to bet a pizza on that one?
You know, I don't watch the Olympics at all, so
No. Do you want to bet a pizza on USA versus Canada? Do you want Canada?
no.
Okay, I just
I
double
don't
check.
even watch the
I'll take
Olympics
that
in the
bet.
first place.
Really?
I'll take that. A pizza or
Slice.
a slice?
Slice?
I'll take that bet.
All right. I got USA. You like Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, Canada, glorious and free. We stand on guard. We stand on guard. That should be the penalties we have to sing.
I know the Canadian national anthem, though.
Yeah, I do. All right. So
doesn't know the fight.
No, I think I know this.
they must be referring to the NBA All-Star game that did happen. Apparently.
Time out. Let it be
Don't
known,
tell me you watched it.
No, I did not watch it.
Okay, all right.
Let it be known to everybody listening, whether it's in Breakers first, second floor, I honestly didn't think she did that bad of a job with the national anthem. Different? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely different.
I would agree there.
I don't think she did that bad for how much flack she's getting.
Yeah, she's getting hammered, absolutely hammered for that. And I agree with you. I'm certainly not a musical expert,
Right.
But I thought she held the tune well.
Right.
It was different.
It was
You know?
different.
I mean,
right.
I still haven't
It
watched
was,
it.
it was different, but it also wasn't that far off from, as,
Right.
as written in sheet music or whatever.
Right,
Do you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad.
If people do not want the artist to be creative with it, then they should tell them sing it
Sing
the
it
way,
as is.
and
Right.
that's what we expect.
Right.
But they're bringing these people in to be creative.
Right.
I believe. So, it was okay. I didn't have a problem with it myself. I didn't watch the game. I know they're all excited because someone actually might have played a little bit of defense at least for a minute or two.
I
So they
didn't
think
even watch
they
it.
think that's awesome. I didn't watch it either. I'm not a fan of that kind
I
of
don't think a lot of people
sport.
would even watch it.
Yeah, it's
I know you
outlived
have
its
your.
presence.
How should I put this? You have your NBA. Your solid NBA fans.
The diehards
They
watch.
don't even take it seriously. though.
Right.
They watch it because they like the entertainment value.
Correct.
But they don't even take it seriously.
I would
They
agree.
know they're not pushing it. And,
Right.
They
Absolutely
want to
agree.
see the dunks. They want to see the camaraderie between the
Right.
players and their friendships they have established and
Right.
stuff like that.
Well, if someone
but
tore their ACL, someone would, or whatever fan base.
it's
would,
worse than that, though. No. It's worse than
They
that.
would go and,
No. Because even baseball, they play. Okay.
Right.
They're still playing. Football.
well, no, that would be
football,
the flag
football-
from the other way.
Say
If
it
they
again?
actually did play hard, if someone tore their ACL and or something like that, you'll see a fan base, go up in arms.
No, yeah,
and
but that's what I'm
about it.
saying, though. You're saying the potential for injuries there. Potential for injuries at any, whether it's Pro Bowl, the MLB, the NHL, it's always there.
Well, it's there,
I
but
I
the
think
Super-
I think NBA makes it grossly
it's ridiculous.
uncompetitive. I
Right.
don't know. I mean, it's not even a
But-
game. It
but
should
I-
be called the NBA shoot around.
I also think though that when you play in games and you stop going hard, you stop doing things. I think that's you have a higher
Propensity for injury?
For injury,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you have a better chance of getting hurt just by not playing
Playing at
the way you normally
50%.
do. At least that's my feeling going
Sure.
in. I'd rather you play hard. Granted, can you get hurt? Absolutely, but you know what? I can get hurt walking down these stairs.
Right.
As can any of these guys.
Well, let me
So-
ask you a question. In you being in the business, does a player's insurance policy
cover for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
My guess, it probably depends on how the contracts are written, but
Right.
many players have it written in their contract that if they qualify for an All-Star game, whatever, they get bonuses and
Okay.
stuff.
Right.
So my guess is, since that's part of their contract,
Okay.
that it's part of their gig. It would be my guess.
Right.
Without being the person who actually wrote or signed the contract.
Have you ever known an all-star, whatever sport, deny going to the game?
Yeah,
Have
yeah. Well, sure. They that's been part of the problem is they've said, for what football, prime example, when they were going
I
out
get
to
that if
Hawaii.
you're playing in the Super Bowl, though.
Well, they've
Yeah.
had people who, when it got down to, they weren't making enough money and having
Right.
to go out to Hawaii. We had people starting to pull away from going to that. In a sport like baseball, now they've changed it so that for pitchers in particular, if you pitch within a certain number of days, you can't go. Now that's
Right.
different than choosing not to go for
Right.
sure. But usually when a player chooses not to go, it's they're not going to come out and say I don't want to go. They're going to say, you know what, I got a slight injury. I'm
Got a
rehabbing.
vacation. Be on vacation.
Yeah,
Can't make it.
yeah. I've got something going on.
Something that inhibits me.
Right.
Okay.
Because I think if they're selected, they're kind of obligated to go.
Right.
Typically, but I do know that they've had complaints. I mean, shoot, doesn't have to be an All-Star game. Look at the regular season. Look at the Cavs, Spurs, and what else? They sit their players out.
Yeah, they play out. They lay off.
That happens. Hey, NASCAR, you're a big
Daytona.
NASCAR. Daytona 500.
Number 3 back in the winner's circle.
What do you think?
I think it's a new generation of driver. Not better or worse or anything.
Right,
I think
right.
it's just a new crew.
Okay.
Dale Earnhart's gone, Jeff Gordon's gone. Your big
Right.
name. Now it's time for these younger guys to start
Step
making
up.
their names.
Right.
Junior, first African American driver to complete Daytona
I believe
or
so.
race
Yeah.
in Daytona.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
And he finished second.
Yep.
He's racing strong. He's racing hard.
Yep.
I think it was a great weekend.
Yep.
Danica's last day.
Well, I'll
she
just say
crashed
Danica
out.
Patrick's crashed out last time. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, you would have hoped she would have finished. Come on.
No, I don't.
You hope she didn't finish?
No.
Okay.
Horrible competitor. Poor sport. Horrible competitor. Has no business. She can drive. Okay, she wouldn't be trusted with that much money if
Right.
she couldn't drive. Don't get me wrong.
Well, let's be honest, though. Their sex appeal
Yes,
is a big
she's
part
a marketing.
of that.
She's a marketing tool. She
Correct.
knows it, and she's being
Correct.
used
Right.
because her skill comparatively
Is not there. I would agree with that.
She was horrible in IndyCar.
Yep.
Tony Stewart Racing thought she'd be outstandingly marketable, which she
was. Yep.
To make that jump to NASCAR.
Yep.
Horrible driver.
Yep.
She's only won one race in her racing career,
Right.
and that's because the guy she passed thought she was a lapped car and eased up before the turn number 4. Shame on him.
Right.
Kudos to her.
Right.
But she is not. She was played. She was played. She was a pawn for marketing.
I would say yes, but she also benefited from it
Oh, don't get me
financially
wrong.
for
Yeah.
sure. I
Don't
mean,
get me wrong, Daddy.
yeah.
Daddy's deep pockets got her there.
Yeah.
She had to
Yeah.
maintain.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. If
Yep.
you finish 44 every time, you're not going to be. The sponsors are going to be like, no way.
Right.
She can drive, but I think
Not at
they
that
were
level.
better. Right.
Right.
They could have very easily went to some of these other tracks and got a
Right.
young buck.
Right. I guess I would say is I agree with everything you just said. I still hope she at least finished the race.
Right. And
But-
this isn't a female thing because there's Sarah Fisher, Milko Duno, they're still in the IndyCar racing
Right.
league. They're still racing. They still race phenomenally. This
Right.
isn't a female
Right.
thing.
This is Danica.
This is Danica. This
Right.
is her being.
Right.
She's a very
Right.
poor sport. If you go on YouTube and you search for Danica Patrick upset in the pits,
Oh, yeah.
you will get more than
Yeah,
one
one
time.
time.
You'll get more than one time that she likes to go in and
Right.
whine to
Right.
other drivers and get in their face and actually put hands on them.
I have seen
She
that.
is a pit stop, or not pit
Bully?
She's a pit bully. Yeah, she is. And it's an anti-bully zone.
That's right. Hey, I do want to give a shout out to Stevenson University. I got to tell you all, Daughters team, they won their league this past week. They won the MAC. There are 2 leagues. They won one league and came in third in the other. Playoffs this weekend. So
Right.
down in Baltimore, I'm going to head down there. So
Very cool, very
good luck,
cool.
Mustangs. Kick some butt and go from there. So I'll let you all know how that goes. But
Right on.
they're there. Anything else going on for you guys?
Not us.
Lakers play tonight at Owens.
That's
now,
far west side.
Women. The women are Owens. Women are ranked in the top 5. 6
Are we
going to
have streaming coverage from there?
I don't know. Actually, yes. They usually do put their games online. It depends. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Our broadcasting crew doesn't travel with the
No,
team?
our broadcasting crew has not been able to travel as of yet, but I'm sure it's something that they wanted to do. We could probably hook them up in some way.
We could have the
Never had
Joe
deep
Tate
talks.
sitting right here.
That's
We
right.
could have the next Joe Tate sitting right here, and he's an untapped source.
We're holding him back.
I guess. Yeah, we're keeping them here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on downstairs? We ever figure out what's going on down there? There's some event going
Black
on.
History Month program.
Is there something
today.
going on with counseling too? I saw they're just putting up their signs and stuff a little early then.
I don't
what?
know.
Okay, I thought there was awareness of counseling or something going on. I could be wrong, but Black History
In
Month.
case you're not aware, they're on the first floor A building.
Let's see. Let's run through the campus connection really quick. I didn't see anything.
All right, well that's all right. I just thought I saw a sign walking by, so I wanted to get there.
No, that's next week.
I think the
transfer
Black
fair.
Student Union's got some tables downstairs,
Excellent.
promoting and stuff like
Excellent.
that. So
Some good information. I did stop and
Yep.
saw a little bit of that information yesterday, so
Right.
come down and check that out. So Breakers on the run next week. We're going to have to get a slice of pizza, Steve, you or I. And,
Breakers on the run?
Or Breakers.
Or
not
just
Breakers on the
in
run.
general?
Yeah,
Okay.
Breakers. So,
I'll take Canada.
all right. Oh, Canada. We'll give you that. And I'm going to take USA all the way. So we'll see what's there. And
week.
Jeremiah's opting out of this, obviously.
Are you gonna maybe next week? You gonna maybe bring another student athlete on?
I will do my best. See if we can get
If you
somebody
can't-
out here and
if you
go from
can't,
there.
Maybe we'll tap the staff direction again.
Well, we do have a young lady who's across the street that I saw you
Yeah.
telling who is
Yeah.
apparently a
She kind of evades though.
Well, she says she's a football knowledgeable person and is a Tom Brady fan. I think she said
Fanatic.
Tom Brady, fanatic.
Fanatic.
But I've talked to her also about coming on, and we mentioned it yesterday.
I thought she
and-
said she was available anytime.
yeah, but
or
then,
something like that,
But,
but-
then when we ask, it doesn't always
Right.
come through. So perhaps we can talk
I
to her.
doubt she's listening.
We'll see if we can. Oh, that's a great song. Do you know the song?
Yeah.
How do you know the song?
Huh?
How do you know this song?
It's F11 on my computer keyboard.
No. That's dead, man, with this program.
Don't talk back. This is a great song, man. This
Oh,
is,
I'm sorry. Did
this
I
is before my
accidentally
time.
play that?
This is before my time.
I know.
All right, so
Back in the Stone Age, you know.
back before there was dirt. I will try to see if we get a student
See if
athlete.
you can
but-
wrangle her in if you can't get a student.
I will. We'll have somebody next week coming in here. Then we'll figure that
No,
out.
I
Go
can
from
work
there.
on that.
What,
Okay.
a student?
No. I guarantee I can get her over here.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. We could have both.
We
We
could
could have
have-
more
we
than
could
one
have both
person.
people in
We
the
do have the
studio,
ability
yeah.
to do that. We'll see what we do. I'll see if I can get maybe a softball player next week or something,
Okay.
or a golfer or something. Get down here and start hitting it up.
We will have to get a one of the newly signed women's soccer team. I see you guys signed a
that's
couple
good
people
option.
already.
Yeah, we've signed 3 thus far. We're going to sign another one on Friday, and then next week. Hopefully, we'll sign one more next
Yeah.
week. So we're moving along. Yeah.
I actually, honestly, I'll be honest, a lot of my athletics news I get on the Facebook page.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Good.
the Facebook posts that you guys are putting out, definitely
Useful?
awesome.
Good.
Well, definitely useful, yeah, but definitely in the loop, keeping things fresh. So
Excellent.
if you're here listening, definitely think about liking or becoming a fan of the Lakeland Athletics Facebook page.
Outstanding.
Definitely a lot of information with all the sports.
Absolutely. That's great. Great. That's courtesy of Jake Gordon. Jake Gordon's handling that.
Doing a
So,
good job, Jake.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys, for the good of the order? We got to wrap this
Nah.
up here.
Next week, that's going to be a busy one because of your coffee with the cops and all that. Next
Oh, that's
week.
right. Yeah.
Coffee with the cops.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What's that one?
This week we're just going to be. I'm sorry. Next Wednesday at
Yeah.
noon
Right.
in the CLI, we're just going to be. I think bringing a member of the Kirtland Fire Department in. Just talk
Okay.
about fire safety issues in general, whether it be at home, at work.
All right.
Important
stuff there.
Kind of a broad coverage topic.
Good. Very good.
That's
That's at noon.
at noon.
Where is that at?
The CLI.
CLI
Second
at
floor, A
noon, and it's
building.
free.
hallway.
It's free.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Some
So
light
it's free.
snacks and refreshments.
Outstanding.
So-
Come
Nice.
learn about fire safety. Got to learn.
I got Small Business Week next week.
small business. Tell us about that. What's going on with
All
that?
different little small businesses like that Coach House right up, from Lakeland. They'll
Mm-hmm.
be coming in. Quaker Steak, Cardinal.
Now, are they coming
So on
in as
forward.
an employment recruitment fair, or are they
No,
coming
actually,
in
up.
To be
Here.
interviewed.
up here to interview them and stuff? Outstanding. We should get one of them on our show.
My understanding is
It's kinda hard to get people
ownership
on.
management of the Coach House used to be ownership and management of Urban Roadhouse on 20.
The roadhouse that was across the street?
No. The Urban Roadhouse on 20.
Okay. Not
well-
familiar with that.
It's across from Heinen's.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ask them.
All right.
Then we have someone coming and playing next Wednesday down in Breakers and that during the lunch rush. So yeah.
Outstanding. All right. So some good things happening.
Then the
coming up.
basketball game Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. Next Wednesday night. So, yeah.
Let's see if
we'll go.
Steve can make it this time.
We'll see. Do we have to mention our Valentine's Day
It
thing?
might be my midterm.
That you completely
My
backfired
spring
on.
break.
Well, I felt bad, and
Yeah, I
here's
saw him the next morning, and he's like, "Scott never came through." So I really think he was heartbroken on Valentine's
No.
Day because he didn't have a
How was
heartthrob.
All right, we don't have a ton of time, but let me give you my view of this. Is I didn't didn't feel it was my place to judge. All right, so when we said, hey, the winning prize is a little bit of a snack food, what have you, and getting to hang out with Jeremiah, and we had talked on air about it perhaps being a date type situation. We had several women and several men jump to that, and not there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't want to judge. And then at the end, I didn't know how Jeremiah felt,
Right.
and so I didn't want to put him in a tough situation.
We had that many listeners, huh?
So, as a result,
No, he just probably went around and begged people.
no, I didn't. We just made the announcement during the
worst
game,
thing
and
is-
they're there.
Did you really?
Yeah, and so I didn't want to. We had probably 30 shooters,
Right.
and I didn't want to offend anyone.
Sure,
and
or
make
put- or
judgment.
put a precarious situation.
Right. So I
Right.
said, you know what? I allowed multiple winners, both male and female, at that time. And then we did have an opportunity. In fact, Johnny Johnson was one of them, which is how we talked about because he has
Oh, I
an
didn't
interest.
realize that.
Yeah, and so this is when we talked about it. That's why he came in today. He goes, I'm interested in that kind of stuff. So it was because of the connection there, we actually built someone who may have an interest from that aspect. So I felt that was more viable.
Didn't make a love connection, but
Well, it may be that too, but I didn't feel it was my place to judge at that
get it.
No,
standpoint.
he
So-
was the one that goes and asks, well, how did that go? And I said, no, that completely changed.
Well, but that's my justification of why.
Okay, I get
did,
it. I get it.
So I had to make
and I'm
it.
sure some aspect of Jeremiah is actually probably happy too.
Well, I had to make an on-the-spot judgment without conversation more with him because it was there, and I didn't feel it was my place to judge.
Well, you're downstairs, I'm
Like
upstairs.
Back to the Future, you've now altered the future.
That's correct. That's correct. We may have made a love connection. I don't know, but we certainly infected someo's interest in radio.
Right.
So that,
I didn't know
that's
he
more
has an
important.
actual interest in radio too, huh?
Well, that's he said he goes, I would like to.
Meteorology and radio.
Right.
That goes well.
You never know. You never know what the future holds. All right, guys, time for us to head out. Have a great day.
See you next week.
Go USA Women's Hockey. Go Mustangs and go Lakers.
Canada.